web trainer, so I was doing all of the advertising, all your feed setups, bolt-ons as well. And then after a while doing that, I moved into DMS training, which is obviously consisting of all your account side of things. And then last year, I got promoted to training manager. So the training team at the minute offer various types of training. So it can be remote, on site, it can be here at Click Dealer for the day as well. And lastly, the last sort of thing that we do really is all of the creating the collateral for training, all the rollout of the new products as well, and all of that side of Click Dealer. Okay, so just a bit of a run through as to what we're going to actually go through today. So what is Making Tax Digital? So just a bit of a basic understanding really of what it really is and how you can actually use this for your VAT. Key questions and myth busting. So obviously we're going to go through a little bit more, as I said, and any questions that you do want answered hopefully will be in there too. Can you use Click Dealer for VAT? So yeah, if it is, we can show you a couple of the new screens as well and a few screenshots, just so you can see what it's going to look like when it is time that you do need to submit your VAT through Click. And if there's any questions at the end as well, you will have my contact details. So obviously any issues, any questions, you can pop me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, so the first one, what is Making Tax Digital for VAT? Okay, so Making Tax Digital, this is a UK government initiative that sets out a vision for the end of the tax return and a transformed tax system by 2020. So H&M Revenue and Customs states that the main goal of MTD is to make taxpayers' administration more effective, more efficient and simpler for taxpayers. So it is, if you are currently using Click, it is going to benefit you massively just because it's going to be an easier process than normal. Making Tax Digital for VAT. So VAT registered businesses with a taxable turnover above the VAT threshold are required to use Making Tax Digital service to keep the records digitally and use the software to submit their VAT returns from the 1st of April 2019. So for the VAT threshold, we've got a little question. So if it's true or false, the VAT threshold is currently above 85k. So does anyone know if this is true or false, or any ideas at all? Got true. Clearly not a hard enough one. $88k true, false. So it is actually true. I'll go into that in a bit more detail just on the next slide for you so we can have a look, because it has actually changed recently, so that'll be quite good to know. So as you can see on here, it explains that the boundaries are changing. If your dealership has an annual turnover of under 85,000, the boundary did actually used to be 83,000, then you don't have to be VAT registered. It is, however, recommended from HMRC that if you have an annual turnover of just below, so between 83,000 and 84,999, that HMRC would recommend on there that you become VAT registered. However, this isn't compulsory, so it isn't something that you have to do. Okay, and then can you use Click Dealer for MTD? So yes, we are actually at the minute the only automotive software provider, and we're actually on the approved development list, and that's to support that submission to HMRC. So we have got a link on there as well if you did want to have a look, but it just basically means that we're ready to go, and as I said, we are the only ones at the minute. Okay, so can you use Click for MTD? Obviously, you know that you're able to. The only information that you'll actually need to be putting into Click Dealer would need to be your purchase information, which I imagine a lot of you already are. You'll be needing to add in your expenses as well, which again, I imagine a lot of you are if you're using this for your accounts. And then you can submit your VAT digitally through the DMS. So literally all you need to do is be putting that information in, and we will do everything else for you when it is that you're ready to. Okay, so I think if you just want to have a look on this sort of table that we've got on the system at the minute, I think a lot of people think that this means that they need to start submitting their VAT in April, ready to go. That's not what it is. You can see just down this bottom line, just on there, that you've got April 19 and June 19. You've got your deadline as the 7th of August, and then that will have to be processed through Click. So it's not something that you need to start straight away. It's not sort of as intense as what I think everyone has been making out at the moment. I think it is quite an easy process. And like I said, you've got a lot of time to get yourselves ready for it. As long as you're putting the information in Click Dealer, you'll be ready to go. Okay, so we've got myth busting on this next one. So on here it says everyone will have to join the service by the 1st of April. Again, as what I've just said, this isn't correct. Businesses are required to join MTD and submit their VAT returns using the new service for the VAT period, which begins on or after the 1st of April. So for the majority who do file quarterly, the first MTD returns won't be due until August or later. But remember, as it says on here, that businesses will need to have signed up to the service, begun keeping their records digitally in Click Dealer, and then set up their MTD compliance software to send information to MTD. It does say in good time before they file their first return under MTD, which they will. And as I said, as long as you're putting that information in, it really will make it a smoother process for all of you. And then under MTD, businesses will have to provide more information than they already do. That is completely wrong and not correct, because no business will need to provide any more information. Data-wise or information-wise, nothing will change. The only thing that's going to change is actually submitting the VAT. Nothing else within the process. It's just how you submit that across to HMRC. And then we've got small businesses should be automatically exempt. So the smallest businesses are already exempt from MTD. Only those with a taxable turnover above the VAT threshold are required to join MTD. So if you are below that, you don't have to worry. If you're above that threshold, you will need to ensure you set up for MTD, which is obviously what we're here for. And then we've got, am I making the most of Click DMS? So on the next few slides, we're just going to go through a bit of really what, if you're not currently using us for your full accounts, what you can get out of Click, as well as obviously submitting your VAT return online. So on here, we've got some reporting, as I said, as you move along. So on here, we've got, if you're not currently using your DMS to your full potential, that you are missing out on quite a bit of information and data that you can get from Click. Apologies to you that obviously are using us quite often and already know about this reporting. But we have got a lot of aspects, not just necessarily for your VAT, but everything in regards to where your customers are coming from. A lot of information as well on where your leads are coming through if you're popping your inquiry sources in. So a few of the VAT reports that would probably benefit the majority would be accounts and VAT NBVQ. So within this report, it'll just show you a summary of the vehicle VAT for that particular quarter that you want to look at. It'll break it down into each VAT calculation. So you'll have all your margin-based sales, you'll have all your VAT qualifying sales, and all your commercials as well. So it's quite good that you can go in and you can see that at any time, and as I said, over any quarter as well. And then you've also got another report in accounts, which is general expenses monthly. So within that report, it'll show you all of your expenses within your chosen date range and the VAT element. So again, that's quite good for you to be able to look into at any point. And as I said, you can look per quarter as well. And if you're currently a stock web user, this means that you're only using us for your advertising and your feeds. Or if you're not sure if MTD is included in your package, then you can just obviously get in touch with us. We'll have a look for you and we'll let you know. If you do already use us for your VAT, chances are you've got your full accounts and you're already familiar with the system. So nothing will change other than you have an easier way to submit your VAT. If you use us for DMS already and you're not quite sure if it is included in your package or you don't use us for your VAT, again, it's just a case of getting in touch and we'll have a look for you. And then we've got how it works. So this is just how we are going to actually work along with HMRC and how we can submit that back for you. So there are some screenshots in here as well that I can show you what it's going to look like. So really, there's just the 3 steps to get you set up. First of all, you'll need to authorise ClickDealer to interact with HMRC on your behalf. So that's just on the screen that you're currently looking at the minute. That page is already live. It's really simple, and it's the first step to get everything set up. So it's a case of you jumping on, clicking continue. It'll then be a few security questions as well, and you can log into your gateway, and that's it. So that's nice and easy. Step number 2. So this is where you can view your HMRC dashboard. You can view this at any point, so at any time that you need to. You can view in your current VAT return, as well as looking at all your previous VAT returns as well and anything that's in the past. So that's your second step sorted. You can view that at any point. And the next one would just be submitting your VAT. So as long as you're happy, everything on the screen is just checking over what you're submitting. So you can see on here, you've got cancel, you've got yes, continue. It is literally that simple. It's just a case of checking it over, clicking yes, continue, and that's the job done. So there's really not a lot to it if you're already using us for that side of things. And it is going to be those 3 steps to get you set up, and then it'll just be a case of keeping an eye on it. When you do want to submit your VAT return, jump onto this screen and then carry on as normal. So we've got a bit of a recap on here. So a quick bit from today's session that we've been through so far. So dealers can make adjustments through Click as normal. So again, nothing's going to change other than the screens that you've just seen, which are the new additions. Other than that, everything will stay as normal. HMRC will receive all information that you're submitting through the Click DMS, and you can view all of your previous information as well. So it's the same as what they normally receive, no different information. It's just how it's sent across. You can also still log into your HMRC gateway, so that isn't going to change. You don't have to just come into ClickDealer to have a look. You can still log in as normal. It is just the submission that has to be done through ClickDealer. And lastly, if anyone on here is currently with Sage or Xero and export to them from ClickDealer, again, you can just carry on as normal. It really isn't changing a lot for you. You can still go into Sage and Xero and submit your VAT from there, so nothing will change on that side of it, really. And then we've just got that it's that simple. So there really isn't much to it, as I said. I think that as long as you're ready to start moving forward with ClickDealer, we're prepared and we're just ready whenever you guys are. So that's about everything today, really, for MTD for that. I know it's been quite short and sweet, but I mean, if there's anything at all that you're unsure on, as I said, we have got just on here my email address. So if you want to pop me an email with sort of any queries, any issues or anything along those lines, I can get back to you as soon as I can. And if there's something that I can't answer myself, I'll ensure that I find out with the accounts team for you before coming back. So thank you all for watching and interacting as well. So I hope it's cleared up any queries and helped to calm a little bit of the panic towards MTD. But if you do have any issues, as I said, just let us know, we'll get it sorted for you. Lovely, thank you.